Hmm. Okay. Well, let's play some music while we wait. Hmm. I don't know. Someone there? Who knows? Ah. Gotta iron this shirt. Hmm. Yeah, I gotta iron this shirt.
Listening to the propaganda. You're listening to the propaganda of that this is the best place in the world for you to live. That this is the best country in the world, the strongest military might, the American dream. What is that anymore? Is that even a thing? What's the American dream in 2026? What does that look like? Specifically for a man.
Just follow these 5 easy steps and you'll be on your way to the healthy beard you've always wanted. From cleaning and conditioning to moisture.
For a man, one of which it seems as though it is now popularized to make you not feel good for being a man. It seems as though it is normalized.
Hey, what's up, JM? What's going on with you?
Men ain't shit. Men are dogs. And I was thinking about it, along with this lie.
How was your weekend?
Can you come to China?
Good morning to you too. How much was your inheritance? My inheritance wasn't that much. I didn't inherit that much. What I did inherit, my name ain't Mike Lowry, okay? So you can't sit there and say, unlike you, Mike, I didn't get no trust fund. What's up, Jesus Christ Saves? I'm doing pretty good this morning. Little headachy, so decided to just chill, relax, getting just rest in bed for a little while. I was supposed to start working at 10 o'clock, but I got a really bad headache, so I took some aspirin and I'm just waiting basically till my head feels a little better, then I'll start working.
I think it will be easier for you to come to China than to go to the Peru. What do you think?
Can you give Austin some sense not to get married to an African? Whoa, listen, I'm not a marriage counselor. Now, if you have a debt collector calling you, I can get that debt collector to stop calling you and pay you, okay, for harassment. But as for telling Austin not to marry an African, no, 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 no. There are some things that we have to learn on our own. He seems happy. I'm happy that he's happy and that he's found love. And if he's happy, why should I tell him to not get married to an African? I don't know anything about her values, but it appears that he's happy with everything that his girlfriend Z is showing him. If she's being diligent, consistent, and reliable and devoted to him, I can't see why he can't love and trust her. You know, God put, man on this earth, but he also put, women on this earth. And it's in the Bible where men, when you get a woman, you're supposed to cleave to that woman. You're supposed to leave your mother, leave your father, and cleave to that woman, and you become one. So, you know, I just said that I'm not going to give Austin any advice about not marrying somebody because that's what basically man and woman were put on this earth to do. They were supposed to find each other and build things and help each other, in life. I am trying to give Austin some help about trying to basically sue Airbnb for kicking him out. I gave him some documentation to file. I don't know if he did it yet, but who knows? I hope you get better. My God, I love your content. Thank you very much, Jesus Christ Saves. I'm doing my best. I don't have like a whole bunch of people guiding me, telling me how to do this, how to do that. Um, I didn't intend to be a YouTuber. It wasn't like I was saying, "Oh, I want to be a YouTuber." No, this was as a result of basically I said something. I gave an interview to someone, and next thing I know, I got a wolf pack of people coming at me, trying to take me apart, trying to take my character apart. And so I felt I needed to react. See, there's a law that if people say something and you don't say anything back, it's like you're agreeing to what they said. It's called acquiescence. And I just, would not acquiesce to, some of the things that people were saying. I said to myself, no, I need to contest, I need to rebut, I need to refute these, statements and alleged allegations. That's all I did. And it drew me a lot closer, and people would say things, and that drew me a lot closer. And, I have to defend myself. At the end of the day, I have to defend myself. Good morning, Charles. How are you doing today? Good morning from Houston. How's the weather out there in Houston, Texas? So, Charles, you're in Houston. Are you a cowboy? I love cowboys, Charles. I love Western movies. I love that. I love the Texas. I love the cowboy bravado. I've always been in love with that sort of Texas bravado that cowboys sort of have. That you know what, they don't have to have a lot. They just need to have a big heart, and they can take on the world. Yeah, I love Western movies. For example, they they had a movie, well, excuse me, a TV series out called Yellowstone, and now they recently have a new spinoff called The Dutton Ranch, and basically it's about cowboys in Texas, and I love it. I can't get enough of the TV show. Hold on a second. Have any of you all seen my recent video that I posted? Well, at least the last two videos that I posted. I'd like to hear your comments. I'd like to hear your opinions. I posted two videos recently because I was informed that a YouTuber who I know who he is. I never met him before, but a YouTuber had some really negative comments to say about me. And I don't know why he felt the need to, make some negative comments about me. I've never met him, never said anything bad about him, but my name is BA, and what happens when you mess with BA? What happens when you around and find out? You know, e- Everyone looks at Clark Kent the same way. Everyone looks at him. He wears glasses. He hunches down. He seems like he's clueless and naive to everything. But Clark Kent is a very dangerous person. What happens when Clark Kent takes off that tie and that suit and those glasses? Who is Clark Kent? You all know who he is. So for everyone who's, thinking that, oh, I could just say what I want about this guy, I could just do this or do that, and he's not going to say anything, he's not going to do anything, fuck around and find out. I understand what you're saying, JT, but because I've lived in Thailand for 2 years, you understand that? I lived in Thailand for 2 years. I learned to speak the language. I have spoken with people. I understand the culture better than people who have never visited Thailand or who are just there on vacation. And having, like for example, I know one Thai man he has a business there and who basically would be like, yo, I will talk to you and tell you about Thai culture. And given the facts that I did find, one older person who would tell me certain things, not everything, but at least I had someone that I could ask certain questions to. He told me that Thai men would never date a bar girl, would never date a girl in a massage parlor, would never date, any of these women who in the nighttime or in this type of industry. And when I asked him why, he said because by Thai standards, these women are not the type of women that they want to introduce or be introduced into their family because they're like lower class. And I asked him, well, what makes them lower class? And he's told me that women in these type of industries, massages and bar girls, they are their morals are compromisable. Basically, they'll do anything for money. They'll do something strange for a little piece of change, if you understand what I mean. And this is, from Thai people. And if you saw my video, the last one anyway, you have three different people who are admitting that, you know what, this is what Thai women do. You offer them money, a contract, and they'll take it. They will accept the contract. Why? Because they want to live a better life. They want, to improve their life. Most are not looking for love. They're looking for a better life. And the moment you offer them any sort of financial support, they're going to grab onto it. They're going to gravitate to you. Maybe love, comes later. Maybe they can learn to love you later. But based off of my experience, facts that I've gathered while living in Thailand, facts, receipts that I have from other people. What am I supposed to go off of? Speculation or what I'm seeing? You don't think basically I haven't said, oh, she's a pretty massage girl. Okay. I went, got a massage. Guess what? Walked around and saw like how, okay, so yeah, some of these people are, some, I didn't say all, but some of these people are susceptible to the offer. I have, I knew like 2 Europeans who went to massage parlors a few times. And after that, women were basically offering themselves to them. Yeah. And guess what? My 2 Caucasian friends, one European dude and one Russian dude, they smashed these chicks. And all they did was, give their phone number. They took them out. They met them 2 or 3 times and they smashed. So this is the mentality, unfortunately. And for someone to say, no, I'm not like that. Okay. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, because the women in that industry, the massage parlors, most people know, most men, in Pattaya, Thailand, who live there, they know those women are susceptible. Yes, susceptible to accepting an indecent proposal. Yes, yeah, it is sad that some people don't have any dignity. Hey, Star, how are you doing? Good to see you again. What's been going on with you? Haven't heard from you in a while, but then again, I haven't done a live in a while, so. But hey, if you like my comments, if you like this content, please, hit the like button. I appreciate it. Hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share my channel with other people. As I said, I don't do these reaction videos to people for spite. I'm not searching for revenge or anything like that. That's not my nature. If you look on my channel and look at some of the videos that I'm creating, I'm trying to create AI. I'm trying to do digital content. If you had to look on my Instagram channel, you will see I'm not talking and saying revengeful things or showing cups of coffee or me eating out at different places. I'm bringing, I create, content that's, makes people aware of things. No, I didn't even know who Richie Mack was. I didn't know who Richie Mack was until last week. I remembered who Richie Mack was when someone said, hey, Richie Mack did a video about you. I'm like, what? Who's that? Then when I saw his face, I said, I've seen this dude in the movie The Hollywood Shuffle. I've seen this dude in a few like commercials on TV or like a TV show called Nash Bridges. That's how I remember Richie Mack. Other than that, I didn't even know who he was. He wasn't on my radar. No, I wasn't trying to gain clout from Richie Mack. I didn't know who he was. You've never heard me speak about Richie Mack in my videos. You've never heard me mention Richie Mack in my live broadcast. I didn't know who he was until last week. I knew about him from a long time ago, and even then, I didn't know who he was. He was just another black actor to me, and I was saying, "Okay, cool." Robert Townsend made a cool movie. That's it.
Have a nice day.
See, so please don't make, speculations, because I'm not the type of person who speculates anything. I like to ask questions, or, I like to see things, for myself. And as I said, I didn't know who Richie Mack was until last week. I never watched any of his videos. I wasn't aware of his channel. Um, he wasn't even on my radar. Thank you very much for the advice. I understand he, has Swifties, but, after 2 years of being in Thailand, been there, done that. You understand? 2 years of being in Thailand, of seeing this place is not very productive for me. You understand? But I thank you for the advice. I understand, yeah, Richie Mack is a very powerful person in Thailand, but I was there for 2 years. I was disappointed at some of the things that I discovered living there. I saw that, the place, and, it wasn't basically a place that I could accept. They have their way of doing things. I have my way of doing things. I'm willing to compromise on certain things, like, for example, learn to speak the language so I can understand the people. And by understanding the people, I can understand the culture. And as much effort as I put into learning to speak the language, and learning to try to make friends with the people so I can understand the culture, it wasn't working, you know. For example, I'm not a type of person, I go to a bar, have a whole bunch of drinks. That's not me. That's one reason why I rented a car. I drove all around Thailand. I rented a motorcycle. I rode all around Thailand, to learn about things, to practice the Thai that I was learning while in school. This is what basically I was doing there. I wasn't, unlike O'Shea Jackson was saying, "Oh, you went there to go clap cheeks." No, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that at all. And that's the problem. Everyone keeps making these speculations. Everyone keeps wanting to believe, I guess, their own lie. I don't know, I guess he is a staple. Jesus Christ saves. I guess he's a staple, or a pillar in the black community in Thailand, or specifically in Pattaya. Not saying that he doesn't know other people, but he basically is probably a pillar in that community. I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking. I get what he's saying. Jesus Christ saves. He's basically just giving me, a caveat, telling me that I need to be careful. But I've already been there. I've already done that, and that's why I have no reason to really return to Thailand. Not that I'm afraid to go back. It's just it doesn't offer me anything. Thailand, I was there for 2 years. Um, Pattaya wasn't my stomping ground. I wasn't running around there trying to find, any and every woman that I could bring back to my condo. No, I was there learning about the culture. I was there learning the language. I was there exploring the country. This is why, while I was there and I was able, to meet certain foreigners, I was able to take them to places inside of Thailand, not just Bangkok, but around Thailand, and show them things that so many YouTubers they didn't know about, because they got to Thailand, they went to Pattaya, and they went no further. They went no further. What's going on, big boss? Listen, big boss, I'm not a killer. Just don't push me. That's it. I'm not a killer. I'm not out here threatening men. I'm not out here, walking around with an S on my chest. But big boss, I was in Thailand learning the language, learning martial arts, taking a cooking class, traveling and exploring. All of those things take discipline. It's easy to sit there and look at a beautiful woman and basically fall prey to your desires, fall prey to, those harlots out there that basically, willing to do something strange for a little piece of change. It takes discipline. I got discipline, a lot of discipline that a lot of men don't have. And this is what I think why a lot of passport bros think I'm weird and I'm strange and I'm different and like, yo, you're this and you're that. It's because I do have discipline. I have discipline to say, no, that ain't for me. No. Because why? Listen, I've been there, I've done that. Rick, what's good, buddy? Yeah, I've been there. I've done that. Unbeknownst to Richie Mack, I worked in the film industry. Yo, he doesn't know that I worked in the film industry when I was younger. I worked for a company called Rat Productions. It was basically Brett Ratner's company, and we all know who Brett Ratner is. He's the director who first made the movie Money Talks, Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3. So I worked in that industry. People don't know this about me. Yeah, I worked as a grip and an electric. I worked in Atlanta, Georgia. I worked in Florida. I've worked on movies. I've worked in New York. So he doesn't realize who I know. I just chose to walk away from that life because I didn't like the people who were, coming out of the closet and their agenda. It wasn't a part of, my morals and principles. So, oh, okay, he was a child actor. Okay, I didn't know who he was basically until I saw him later on in movies, and I didn't even know who he was then. Mhm. Yeah, I know he makes it out to be Disneyland, and a lot of people bought into the hype. They bought into the hype, and now basically that hype is it is what it is. Yeah, I agree. They just want to make it seem like it's cool to be, out there and well, but everyone keeps pretending, on social media that, oh man, Pattaya, 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 as if though they're going out there meeting women who are wife-like material. That's why in my video, I put in the last video, not one, not two, but three dudes who are actually giving out their experience. They're showing people like, yo, if you want a pretty girl, you give her a contract, you pay her, and basically you get what you pay for instead of making it think these dudes just going out there wifing up Thai women. No, they're wifing up 304s. 304s that have been ran through by other dudes. And they got maybe 5 or 6 dudes on WhatsApp standby. They can sit there and be like, I need some money. 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 And yo, people think basically, they found something special when in reality, they didn't find anything special. They just found basically somebody that knows how to play the game. Okay. Big boss, I know that person and somebody else told me the exact same thing. I'm not mentioning no names of who told, it to me. And again, when I saw the video and I was like, okay, he's happy with this person. And he, who am I to tell him, who he should and shouldn't be with? You know, I'm not. It's just I just hope that dudes stop trying to make Pattaya out to be something that it's not, knowing that they're offering these women a contract. They're offering these women, salaries of 20,000 baht, 30,000 baht to be eye candy on their arm. They're not saying, yo, yeah, you know what? I've got this chick and she likes me for me. She likes me, for my personality. She's with me for my personality. And a lot of these women, they're not there for your personality. They're there because why? You can provide them with finances that their men can't provide them with, and that helps their family. They're really thinking more about their family than they're thinking about you as the provider of this financial stability that you provide them. They're thinking about them. They're not thinking about all the hard work you put into having to build yourself up. Yo, my cousin right now, he's getting 200K a year. He does cybersecurity. Do you think any of those women in Pattaya care all of the money that he had to spend with his education, almost like 200 and some $1,000, and then he has to keep on paying to get recertified? Yeah, you got to pay, and those certifications is like 8 to 10K to get certified. These women don't care. They don't care. Huh. Oh, wow, big boss. Wow, I didn't know that. Yo, Charles, that's why I left Thailand, because I could see all of the hype. And I said to myself, that's not what I was there for. I was there exploring and learning about the culture, the country, the people. As I said, I was renting cars and driving around Thailand. No, I haven't seen his penthouse. Has his own personal swimming pool. Okay. Um, you seen my even though, listen, I'm not trying to live on Richie Mack's, hopes and dreams, because what he's done and accomplished in life isn't what I'm looking to accomplish in life. I have, what's the name, in Cancun, Mexico, a timeshare where I can go there, have my little timeshare. I got a pool outside of my condo, my own private pool. I can't, but guess what? That little condo I have out there, that timeshare, when I die, I can't take that with me. Do you understand that? When I die, JM, I can't take this stuff with me. This stuff is meant to just be enjoyed while you are living. Because once my heart starts beating and I'm like this, 6 feet under the ground, that stuff means nothing to me. Nothing. Rick, I don't know either, and I do know there are some decent women in Thailand. I've met a lot of them. I met a lot in there are universities in Bangkok where if you want to be like an airline stewardess or work in the airlines, you got to go to this college. Yo, those are some bad Thai chicks there, but guess what? They're on a certain standard and level where they don't want foreigners as like companions or partners. They're looking for Thai men. Those women in those colleges getting, these degrees and can speak English, they don't want us. They want a Thai man, a pretty looking female Thai man, to basically bring home to mama. I know this. I've met some of these women who go to college and who are at these universities getting this education. They don't want us. They want Thai men first. And when they have these relationships with a Thai man and he cheats on them or gives them a kid and abandons them, that's when the foreigner now becomes the next option. This is what most people don't even know. I know, Rick, I know that there's some decent women there. Unfortunately, most of the young, decent women, they don't want us, not right away. And if they do take us, first they want a white dude. And then when he screws them over, then they'll take a black dude. This is what I've learned. And I was there for 2 years. You don't think I hadn't seen this over and over and over again? In Pattaya, there's known PDFs all around. They get caught, paid money, and come back 1 year later. Wow. Wow, big boss. In Pattaya, there's known PDFs all around. They get caught, pay money, and come back 1 year later. Richie has a good run. I found out some Thai from him. Younger, better creators came and he just got outproduced. Plus, he lied to everyone, so he lost respect. Okay, Rick, big boss. I didn't know this. I appreciate the info. I definitely didn't know. Rick, please subscribe to my channel, man. Yo, I definitely love the tea you're spilling. It tastes magically delicious. Yo, I usually like tea, Earl Grey, but basically what you're saying here, man, this is tea I've never had before. This is definitely tea I've never had before. It's funny because you never said anything about him, yet he came at you sideways because you said something that aging his narrative. All I said was that a lot of passport bros are lying to other people. That's all I said. Passport bros are lying to people. And he got offended by that and feels like, oh, I'm a passport bro. I'm not. Yo, I've been traveling since I was 18 years old. Yo, I got stamps on from different countries when I was a kid with my parents. So I don't consider myself a passport bro because my objective wasn't to go there and look for women. My objective was to go there, discover something new, taste some new food, learn basically some new things about the culture. I wasn't going there at these ages, even when I went the first time to Cancun, Mexico on my own. And I went there to basically see why my cousin, who's a Kappa, what's going on there? And what did I do? I got sick. I drank the water. I didn't drink the water. I ate something that had, water on it, and I got sick. So I didn't have the best experience, but at least I know now. I go to Cancun, Mexico. No drinks with ice, nothing. So I don't consider myself a passport bro. But he's known in the travel space. Most people talk behind his back because everyone knows he's phony. Big boss, yesterday when I did a live, interview with BMT Live, I saw so many Swifties. Yeah, I call them Swifties, paying super chats. And I'm not talking about no $3. I'm talking about $50 super chats just to come at me. I'm talking about just so they could get a comment read. They were paying $50 super chats so that BMT could, read a comment they were saying. I'm like, wow. Only a diehard Swiftie pays that much money to defend somebody that I guess they have admiration for. Maxime and travel time with Paul were saying the same exact thing you were saying 2 years ago. Yeah, I discovered Paul. I read some of his, I watched some of his content. Recently, I was told about Paul from my cousin. And he was, when I saw his content, I was like, wow, okay, so there are other YouTubers who feel the exact same way based off of their experience. What was my experience in the DR like? Listen, I have receipts. You understand? If I had to show you right now, I have like 4 or 5 cell phones with data. And I'm not talking about just, I have text message, I have videos of people when I first got there, bought my motorcycle to DR. I can show you a video right now on one of my cell phones that a Dominican person who I guess was attached to Aduanas walked up to me and told me if I don't give him 200 US dollars, I didn't know who he was, but he had paperwork to my motorcycle. He told me if I don't give him 200 US dollars, I'm not getting the keys to my bike. And guess what? After arguing with him for about 10 minutes, I did give him the $200. And guess what? I got the keys to my bike. That's the type of stuff that I have receipts on. I just haven't posted this stuff, because my motorcycle's in DR and I like to go there and ride it. If I could sell my bike, and because it's an expensive bike, it's an MV Agusta F4, which I can show a few people, what it looks like. Please, I wouldn't go back there, for nothing. But I do enjoy my bike. I paid like 12 or 13K for it, so it's the only reason why I really even go back to the Dominican Republic. Let me see, where's my bike? Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What about Dominican women? Did you get into any relationships? Yes, I did. I got into, I want to say maybe 1 or 2 relationships while I was there. Show you. Just give me a second. We're scrolling down. Okay. Dominican Republic relationships there. I don't recommend people trying to, get into relationships there because most of the women there have become so tainted with believing they are entitled. A lot of them feel like they're entitled to things that, I don't feel that they deserve. Just give me a second. Hold on. Let me show you all some of my cell phones and some of the things that I've recorded on it. Okay. So many people don't know. All right, everyone. So, for all of you all who don't know, this is why I say my name is BA. Fuck around and find out. I need you all to look at all of these phones. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you see, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cell phones. These cell phones have data, videos. So this is my motorcycle. I don't know if people can see it. This is my motorcycle. No, I'm definitely not Floyd. I just basically believe in saving data. Do you understand? I save data. I save receipts. Okay, I save receipts, and that's what basically people don't realize. These phones have videos on them. These have a lot of video footage on them that many people, if they had to see, like, yo, I didn't know that person was like that. Moving like Jason Bourne. Let me show you my motorcycle. Yeah, well, watching Jason Bourne definitely taught me a few things. Uh, 2025. Wow, is that it? You know, now I see I got to delete some of these stuff or put them away. Trying to show you on my motorcycle. Oh, I didn't know I had so many photos in 2004, 2003. Yeah, I am definitely going to do a deep dive and just delete a lot of these photos and things that I don't need. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, everyone. So this is my motorcycle. If anyone can see it, I don't know if people can see it or not. This is my motorcycle. It's called an MV Agusta F4. Yes, this is my motorcycle. This is a super bike. It's an Italian super bike. Let me show you some of the photos of me on my super bike. Said I don't post these type of photos on social media. My life is private. You know, I'm not there to sit there and win over likes or people giving me thumbs up or anything like that. But yeah, here's a closer look at my bike. It's in a different color though. Uh, this is me on my bike with some friends. Okay, and I'm sure you can recognize I was just in a photograph with this guy wearing this outfit. I don't know if you all can see it or not. It's the window is kind of like gotta get my butt out of bed soon. And these are more photos of me on my bike with my friends. But as for our relationships in the Dominican Republic, good luck with that. Actually, I don't know if people can see it, but this was my girlfriend in the Dominican Republic. Yeah, I had a girlfriend in the Dominican Republic. That's her. Let's see. I don't know why it's difficult. Oh, I don't know. Window. Let's see. See it better. It's photographs of me in Cuba. This is a photo of my bike where I lived at. in Dominican Republic. So you can see basically I lived in a place in Puerto Plata, like maybe 3 or 4 blocks from the beach. And if anyone's been to the Dominican Republic, there is a restaurant close to the beach called Como in Familia. I live like basically just across the street from Como in Familia and a restaurant called La Tarapa. It's an Italian restaurant. So, oh, sorry. I got caught up. I was supposed to be showing you all a video. So to you, sir, just saw your video and I agree and support everything you said. Hey, Rico Young, I appreciate that. Just please, share it. If you like it, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel because I like making videos like that when it's necessary. But please, yeah, share the video with people. Rank the countries you visit in order which is best. Wow. Ricky Matt likes to make things comical, but I don't think he would debate you because he would have to admit that most of your arguments are right. JT, I know that, you know that. And when I asked O'Shea Jackson to do the same thing, he refused to do it. He refused to basically call me on his show and do a live, yet and still he kept saying, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, bring me on your channel. Bring me on your channel so that I can answer some of these I don't know questions. Do you normally go for a light skin like Austin? No, I don't go for a light skin like Austin. She could be a chocolate woman as long as she's petite. I like petite women, slim, very pretty face, very pretty features. Uh, what's the African actress who played in the movie Black Panther? She was basically like, I guess, um, Chadwick Boseman's girlfriend. That's what I like. You can be very slim, dark skin, but I love like very dark women. But they have to be very beautiful, very very nice features. But I like slim women. I'm not it's not like she has to be light skin or anything like that. She can be brown skin, she can be dark skin, but I love petite women, women who are very slim, who are in shape, who don't have a muffin top. I don't need all of that. I need, someone who's beautiful, pretty, beautiful face, but also a very intelligent mind because that's what I'm mostly attracted to. If you're beautiful and you can have an intelligent conversation, I love women like this. Hold on for a second. Working on like that. I called out all of his lies for years. And yes, BMT knows L is a 304 and has seen him exposed for his lies. BMT will cover for Zoom like rest of his. Wow. 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 Rick Young, Rico Young. Wow. And yesterday, BMT was getting super chats. And I'm like, yo, this guy is getting like $50 super chats. What's going on here? $50 super chats, like, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why is this guy getting so many super chats, to be able to, express all of these things? And I'm saying, whoa, that's BANANAS. Okay, so I'm gonna give my opinion about it's just my opinion, just from my experience. Um, I don't like the Dominican Republic because of the corruption there. It's so corrupt in the Dominican Republic. It's so easy for you to get into trouble there and you got to buy your way out. As anyone who knows who TaylorMade is, I don't want to call him a passport bro unless that's what he is and accepts the title. He got into a situation where his house got robbed and burglarized while he was in it, and the locals, they actually found the people who robbed TaylorMade in his house, yeah, while he was sleeping. And the prosecutor, or I guess the legal system down there, told TaylorMade, if you want to keep this person in jail, you have to pay a lawyer to prosecute the case. Did you just hear that? He has to pay a lawyer to prosecute the case if he wants any justice. Who would want to be in a country like that? You cold, Rico. Yo, Rico, man, subscribe to my channel. You hear me? You heard? Yo, I'll definitely give you, your 15 minutes of fame if you want to do an interview, basically, and I can put you on my channel. You can, air out your grievances, air out basically your feelings, your thoughts, but most of all, I want you to bring your facts. Okay, I want you to bring your facts, Rico. So I'm more than happy to hear your side of the coin. All right. Matter of fact, Rico, here's my Instagram, and a big boss. You take it too. You hear me? You can definitely hit me up on Instagram, and we can do some videos. And I can basically put, your story up there, and basically what you've learned about, there's my IG, and you can hit me up. You can hit me up. Hit me up. Send me a request. We can kick it. We can build. Are you doing consultings yet? I do consulting. Yeah, I do consulting, but it's mainly on banking, law, and financing, and helping people. If you have debt collectors that are calling you, I can help get your debt collectors to stop calling you and help you get a check. You know, I can just help. That's what I give consultations for. You got debt collectors calling you, and you wanted the debt collectors to stop calling you over debts. Um, that's what basically my business is all about. Rico knows the DR very well. Would be good seeing you both discuss it. Okay. Well, Rico has my Instagram. He can hit me up. I know people in the DR still. I used to be a part of a motorcycle. I don't want to say a gang, but a club, a motorcycle club down there. The members are still there, and that's another story. But matter of fact, I can show you. Here's a video if the phone is still on. I can show people basically the video of the guy who extorted me while I was in DR to get my motorcycle out of aduanas. Let's see. Just in case I don't want it to shut off. I don't want the phone to shut off. But, I definitely would not recommend DR as a place, to go and it's cool. I've been told that Brazil is not a very safe place to do content on the beach. So if I had to consider doing content on the beach in Brazil, I would have to be there with at least two other people, somebody who could watch my back, and someone who could basically, watch my 6 o'clock and my 12 o'clock, because Rio is not. I'm not saying it's a bad place, but I've been told by many people it's not a safe place. So if I did content, I definitely would want people watching my back so that somebody can't just grab a phone or grab my camera and run off. And I'm up there trying to chase somebody down who got people who are waiting for me to just run by so they could trip me up. You told the truth about DR. It's very corrupt, but I'm good at avoiding most of it in my area and home in Punta Cana. Okay. Listen, I've been to an area. The first time I went to the Dominican Republic, I was at this resort called Casa de Campo. It was really nice, really, really nice at Casa de Campo. It was very expensive. I think it was like in a place called La Romana, something like in DR. Really nice. Okay, so I do know that there's nice areas in DR. It's just people have to stop thinking that everybody who comes to the country doesn't speak Spanish. Porque yo puedo hablar español muy bien. Y la problema es la mayoría de la gente en Dominican Republic no sabe que yo puedo hablar y entender la idiomas muy bien. Yeah, you hear me? ¿Me entiendes? ¿Tú escúchame? I can speak Spanish. Eu falo a língua portuguesa muito bem. I speak other languages. I speak other languages really well. It's just most people don't know that. Many people don't know I can speak other languages. So when I'm in the Dominican Republic and I'm hearing people say things, especially, girls say certain things like this. Este coco loco quiere salir conmigo. Of course my eyes are going to be like, she just said this coco loco. Who's she talking about? Who did she just say that to? She called me a coco loco. This is what I'm saying in my head, Rico. This is what I'm saying in my head. Thank you. Thank you. Danny, I don't understand. It's okay, Danny. Basically, what I said was the majority of, Dominican people don't know, who's who. I can pass for a Dominican if I shut my mouth. But when I speak Spanish, they know I'm not Dominican. All I said was, the majority of Dominican people don't know that I speak Spanish and understand Spanish very well. I speak it fluently. But back to what you were saying, Hermans, I have a purpose of going down to Brazil because I'm looking for some models. I want to start a modeling agency in China because I got a few plugs with the clothing industry down there. And because I got these plugs with the clothing industry down in China, I know a lot of the clothing manufacturers, they're looking for models. So I need to head down to Brazil to get me at least like 3 or 4 models to help me start my business. I have a Spanish wife and can't speak it, but thankfully my wife is Salvadorian and from the U.S. Okay, Rico. She's Salvadorian and from the U.S. You got the best of both worlds. Let's see. It's trying to get this video for you all to see while I was in DR, how dude was trying to basically extort me. It's almost opened up my phones. Had to remember which phone it was on. But yeah, I have a lot of content, a lot of data, a lot of videos, a lot of receipts. Have you enjoyed the nightlife in New York City yet? I enjoyed the nightlife in New York City when it was a cool nightlife. Okay. The nightlife in New York City is not the same. I plan to leave, New York after the 4th of July. I haven't seen the 4th of July fireworks display in a minute. So, I enjoy that event. So that's when basically once I get that out of my system and I see if the fireworks display, then basically I'll probably head out to Peru. I've been doing some research to see, the positive sides of maybe visiting Peru and maybe Brazil. So these are places that I'm just considering visiting. Let's see. Okay, I see you back and you expect to travel again. So the agenda is Peru, Brazil, and Peru, Brazil, and if I can get the models that I'm looking for, the Brazilian models, China. So I did find a videotape, everybody. Did find a videotape. Just give me a second here. Even though the battery is dead, gotta find a portable charger. So let me grab this portable charger because if I don't keep the portable charger in, you will not be able to see the video. Because the battery will die. So I'm going to show you what happened to me in the Dominican Republic on one of these cell phones. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we see you.
Oye, sal de esto, ellos hay que pagar eso, ya yo hablé con Paola. Yo le expliqué todo eso, Tati, ahí. Ya, mira, Tati, haga lo que tiene que hacer, busque el valor de la placa, vaya.
Tell him to explain to me. Explícale a él, que es el que quiere saber. Ok, dígame que yo lo voy a traducir.
12,000 pesos son el trabajo, la presentación, lo de la declaración y todas esas cosas. Todo el papeleo aquí lo a verificar con el
12,000 they charge for their work to check if everything stay okay, and that's what he said to me.
But I never entered into a contract with Paola.
So basically, they're saying that they did a check to make sure everything was okay. I'm like, why would you do that for? I didn't enter into an agreement with anybody to check anything out. So by them saying, "Oh, we did this to check everything out," I'm like, who are you? Why would you be doing a check to check everything out?
Haga lo que tiene que hacer, busque el valor de la placa, vaya.
Tell him to explain to me. Explícale a él, que es el que quiere saber. Ok, dígame que yo lo voy a traducir.
12,000 pesos son el trabajo, la presentación, lo de la declaración y todas esas cosas. Todo el papeleo aquí lo a verificar con el
12,000 they charge for their work to check if everything stay okay, and that's what he said to me.
But I never entered into a contract with Paola to do anything. I never entered into.
Pero oiga, es que no, que yo van a pagar. Oye, ganemos tiempo.
Nosotros lo vamos a pagar, pero que él dice que Paola no hizo un contrato con él para que él tenga que pagar esa cantidad de dinero.
Pero eso es lo que nosotros cobramos.
He said that's what they charge.
Who's they? Who's they?
Mira,
Who is they?
Domingo Antonio Reyes Tati, eso soy yo. A ver ahí. No perdemos tiempo, mándalo ahí a 6 cheques. Domingo Antonio Reyes Tati.
Who's Antonio Reyes? Oh, you're Antonio Reyes.
Domingo Antonio Reyes Tati. Ese todo el papeleo como nosotros que
This is for the paper he made for the bike. He charged this morning.
He charged me, but He didn't tell me he was going to charge me. I didn't know how much he was going to charge me. It's like you just saying,
Él
okay.
dice que él no sabía cuánto le iban a cobrar porque nadie le dijo.
Tati, vaya a hacer un oye, tiene que pagar, oye, escúchame, tiene que pagarle los 12,000 pesos a él.
Sí, se le van a pagar los 12,000 pesos, pero él quiere saber por qué le estaban cobrando, porque nadie le dijo a él.
Yo le dije a él,
eso es lo
la
que
gestión
quiere que le diga.
aduanal, que él presentó con el toque de él y todo. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Sí.
Eso es que ellos cobran. ¿Tú me entiendes?
He said that's what they charge you for doing this job.
That's what they charged me for doing this job. Well, I didn't contract anyone to do the job. That's all. I didn't
Él dice
contract.
que él no contrató a nadie para que hiciera ese trabajo.
Alguien dio esos papeles a él. Alguien dio esos papeles a él.
He said how the paper going to him.
Okay, this is how the papers go to him. I was contacted by her, okay, and she said that she wanted to do this for me, but I never said okay, because I have text messages that I agree to pay you a certain amount of money.
Él dice que ella lo llamó a él para decirle que ella le iba a hacer ese trabajo, pero él nunca le contestó. Él nunca aceptó. Exacto. Él nunca aceptó. No, él lo va a pagar, pero él lo va a pagar porque nosotros venimos a buscar el motor, pero ella como que él no sabía de eso.
Oye, te voy a decir, me estoy metiendo que no tengo que meter. Hay que pagar ese dinero a él. Y vamos a ganar tiempo para que no se queden hasta mañana, o si no se va a quedar mañana.
Estoy here to tomorrow.
I paid, correct?
That's what he said.
Okay. Give me the money.
¿Cuál money? Yo te voy a dar 6,000 ahora y cuando tú termines te doy 6 más.
Oye, esa vaina, salgan de eso.
All right.
Give it to me. This is
Peso dominicano, 12. Dale 12.
Peso.
Sí, peso.
Okay.
wait.
Hold on.
$210.
$210. Yeah. So that's 100. All right.
Oye, mira.
No. Here. 200. That's it.
There you saw it. There you saw it. Basically, you saw me hand a government official, yes, a government official, $200 US, and he is putting this money in his pocket. He works for Aduanas, and he took $200 US and put it in his pocket. And that was how I got my motorcycle. Sorry, I see you. Okay. Hey, Rick, as New Yorkers, why go all the way to DR for Dominicans when you can chill with your people? Hey, Rick, that's a good question. Listen, in the Bronx, or even basically Fort Washington, that's where a lot of Dominicans are. But once they get to America, they Americanize. They don't want us. They get to America, and they're like, oh, I don't need you. I don't want you. The COVID tax. Would you agree the difference between New York and LA state of mind is that in New York, tricking is unacceptable, but in LA, it's celebrated? Yes. First of all, New Yorkers feel like we have too much to offer. We have swag, we have confidence, we have just so much more, we have creativity. Why would we basically want to trick when we know, and I hate to say this, we feel like we're all that and a fat bag of chips with the dip. So why should we be leading with, our wallet? And any man, not just from New York, should feel like that when you're educated, when you're knowledgeable, you have wisdom, knowledge, and experience. We're not accustomed to tricking. We're not accustomed to, buying, buying pussy. We're not accustomed to that. Yes, Richie Mack and a lot of people are trying to normalize tricking as basically the norm. Like your looks ain't, your looks are nothing, your intelligence, your wisdom, everything that you did in life to be able to get to be able to live in a country like Thailand. You should just throw all of those things out of the window and lead with your wallet. Yes, Rico, most men want to just be accepted for who they are, not their money. Who wants to sit there and feel like, dang, if I don't have money, you don't really want to be with me. You only like me, because of the money. Rico, in the Dominican Republic, many people didn't even know I had this motorcycle. Many people in the Dominican Republic didn't even know I had a Jeep. I walked around DR so much trying to just live like a normal person, like a normal Dominican wearing normal clothes. But people knew, they knew I wasn't Dominican based off of how I was dressed. Because even my normal clothes aren't normal, but they're normal to me. Nevertheless, people would see me walking around a lot. But when they saw me on my motorcycle, they didn't even know it was me because I wore my helmet. I wore, motorcycle boots. I wasn't wearing flip flops riding my motorcycle, which is a common thing in the Dominican Republic. So when they see me walking around like I'm a stormtrooper, and I take off my helmet, they're like, oh, I know who you are. I've seen you. You be always walking around DR. Why are you walking around when you got a motorcycle? Or they see me get out of my Jeep, the windows are tinted. They're like, why are you always walking for? I walk because I want people to just treat me like a normal dude. I don't want people to treat like me because I got a car or a motorcycle or money. That's how basically a fool gets separated from, his wealth real fast. Why you think so many dudes, they go down to Colombia, chicks be putting scopamine in their drinks because they're like, yeah, I got one. He's flashing his gold watch, his jewelry, his chain, his money. I'm going to get that. Not me. You're not going to know who I am because I'm not going down there, wearing, the best watch and the best gold chain, because these people, not everyone comes, from a family with wealth. I didn't come from a family with wealth. Somebody asked me earlier in the chat, how much money is in your trust fund? I said, I'm not Mike Lowry. Unlike you, my parents didn't leave me no trust fund. Yeah, they left me an inheritance, but it's not no trust fund. And what I did with the money, I just reinvested it, made it work for me. That's it. That's all I did. I made it work for me. But Rico, I'm glad basically, I've met you. Herman's, I'm glad to have, met you, everybody in here, Danny, everybody who's new to my channel, please, hit the like button, please subscribe to my channel, so you can get notifications whenever I do a live or do new videos. I love having these conversations. I love answering your questions. I love basically just being honest with people because, when people are being honest with you and don't have any, any monetary value behind it, then you know what you're getting. I'm not asking for, for super chats. I'm not asking you to, anyone to send me money, to my Cash App. I don't want that. Would on a panel with Mitchie Mack and yeah, I would love to do that. Third party platform. Yeah, I would love to do that, but I'm still learning how to create AI generated people. So I've just now, after maybe about a month, successfully learned how to operate OBS. effectively. And I'm working on how to like work on Canva. So it's taking me a process to learn this new AI software and editing stuff and Champ Clip or Clip Champ. It's not easy. Plus, not to mention, my mind is also in my clients. People who basically I'm suing, credit agencies for or collection agencies for. I got to keep my mind also focused on that. So it's a balancing thing. On how to be a world traveler. That's a good idea. And Herman's, I appreciate that. You can brand your content on how to be a world traveler. That is a very good idea. And I've never thought about that because, again, I never thought about being a YouTuber. I never thought about, creating content. It wasn't something that basically I even entertained the thought of. My main objective is helping other people who basically have problems with creditors or collection agencies who basically are demanding money out of them and are harassing them. And I just like to help these people, get these people off their back. I love seeing people tell me, yo, my $100,000 student loan, yo, it's gone. It's not on my credit report. Thank you so much. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy these stories because there's a great joy in knowing that we were put on this earth for a purpose and helping somebody, and then those people telling other people how they were helped. That's the real joy. If you can teach yourself how to 3D print products, AI stuff should be easy. Yeah, it is, but you have to have, time and, I have a lot of, cases that I have to read. I have a lot of studying that I have to do to help my clients. So it's about balance. Everything is balance. And if you don't have balance in your life, then, your life can be somewhat chaotic. So, or basically you overlook things. I tell Philly Dom all the time, he needs an assistant because he keeps losing his phone chargers. He's constantly losing his phone chargers. He buys them and he loses them because, he's getting a little older. He's trying to remember all these things. And it's just so easy to forget, something as simple as a phone charger and walk away from it. And, shout out to him over there in Malaysia. No, he's in Singapore now, doing his thing, creating content for, YouTube and his audience to just show people that there's more to life and there's definitely more places to experience and explore other than Pattaya, Thailand. Yeah, because from what he's showing and telling me, he's like, yo, you went to the wrong country. He told me, yo, if I would have went to Singapore, even though it's a little more expensive there, he said, yo, I would have loved the place just based on the fact that there's a lot of Singaporean women, beautiful, speak English. They're just like an upgraded version of a Filipina, and they have jobs, and they're intelligent and they're educated. So I didn't know. Again, we live and we learn. I didn't know. You know, I did go visit Vietnam. I did go visit Laos. I did go visit Cambodia. Malaysia was on my list of places to visit. But I was just tired of, like the Asian mentality. And I said, you know what? Um, this save face culture, it's not for me. Because the same way how I was on BMT Live and I could admit that I'm wrong, and I could admit things, and a culture of people feel like by them admitting that they're wrong, they're losing face. They're losing something that basically, they've been working all their life to make it appear like this is solid gold. We're human. We make mistakes. We make mistakes. So to sit there and pretend like you perfect at everything you do, that's unrealistic. Who's perfect? Nobody. Nobody's perfect. I make mistakes. And when someone calls me out on my mistake, if I realize it, I admit it, I apologize, but I'm not going to keep saying sorry, making mistakes. And guess what? Keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Because now I'm not sorry. Okay, Danny. I didn't know it was or wasn't a thing in the Philippines. I'd only been there for 6 months. So, I really didn't know if saving face was a thing in the Philippines. Mm. I really didn't know that. But Hermans, I thank you again for this information. And world travel is something I need to basically maybe do some soul searching on and figure out maybe how to like create content from my previous experiences and just give people like some insight, some do's and some don'ts. For example, if anybody is ever considering going to Cuba to visit, it is such a beautiful place to go and visit. But if you're going to stay in an Airbnb, you need to bring some things with you. And I'm going to tell you some of the things you definitely need to bring with you if you decide to go to Cuba. You definitely need to bring some extra toilet paper with you. Yes. You go to Cuba and you go to an Airbnb, within maybe 2 or 3 days, you're going to run out of toilet paper because they only give you maybe a half a roll. And if you think you can find a roll of toilet paper in the average, Colmado or bodega or store, you are shit out of luck. And how I had to basically find out the hard way. But fortunately, I'm a New Yorker. We think on our feet. What saved me was this. I said, where on earth, since I can't find any toilet paper in a store, what's they ration toilet paper? What other? What? Hey, listen, Rick. Yes, they ration toilet paper there. Listen, it's a country that basically only gets a certain amount of goods. They don't have a machine in their country like a toilet paper machine, making toilet paper. But this is how I overcame that dilemma. Basically, I walked into a hotel like I was a guest. And what I did was I found like a lady who was still cleaning a room. And then I spoke to her in Spanish. I said, Señora, necesito papeles higiénico, por favor. And she gave me 2. And I put the 2 in my bag. I went to another floor. I found another woman who was cleaning a room. I said, Señora, por favor, ¿puedo hacerte una pregunta? ¿Tienes papeles higiénico? And she said, sí. Dame uno o dos, por favor. Yo necesito. And she gave me 2 rolls. I went back to my Airbnb with 4 rolls of toilet paper. But who else would have thought about going to a hotel to basically get, a cleaning lady to give up some toilet paper? And I couldn't find none in the stores. So I had to think fast. I knew the hotel had some, and I knew it'd be real easy to walk in there, pretend I'm a guest, and get some toilet paper, and no one would question me. So that's how I basically got solved my problem in Cuba. Also, if you're going to Cuba, they have a lot of little stores you can buy like pizza and donuts from. They don't have regular paper towels. A lot of them don't have, oh shoot, my battery's about to die. A lot of them don't have paper plates. So basically you have to, bring your own paper plates. Hold on for a second. My battery's about to die. Let me go and get my what's the name? My charger. and plug this in. I'm gonna be on here for 15 more minutes. I'll be right back. What did you do? Oh, it's right here. All right, starting. All right. It's almost oh wow, it's 12 o'clock, it's 1 o'clock. I need to get out of bed. Everybody. Oh shit, my bad. Is Africa on the hit list? No. No. Africa is not on the hit list, Danny. My mother went to Africa, and the vaccinations that you have to get to go to Africa are BANANS. Spell that out carefully. BANANS. They got about maybe like 7 to 10 needles, and you have to be vaccinated with all 10 needles. You have to be vaccinated with all 10 needles. That puts me off completely. Yeah, it does me too. Yellow fever chat. Ah! So who wants to be vaccinated with stuff that you've never ever had before? Yellow fever. I don't want yellow fever in pumped into my brain, into my blood system. Shoot, I've never even had the flu. I've never had the flu. I've gotten colds. I've gotten sick, but I didn't get COVID for some good reason. I got people who were taking the COVID shot. Some people died. Some people got sick. I didn't. Perhaps it has something to do with my blood. I have O negative blood. So maybe that had a lot to do with it. But I didn't get sick during COVID. I didn't get the chicken pox. I don't know why, but I didn't get the chicken pox growing up. Other children got the chicken pox. So that means if you got the chicken pox, you are possibly, susceptible to getting the shingles. I didn't know this until, other people who told me, or doctors was like, oh, have you ever been vaccinated for this? I'm like, no. Oh, you've never had, well, let me give it to you. No. So I got 13 more minutes on this live. It's 1 o'clock. I got to get to work. The medicine that I've taken is kicking in. My headache is dissipating. So I'm going to be getting off this live. I haven't even eaten anything for breakfast. So I definitely have to get ready to eat something, get some work done, so I can enjoy the rest of my day. But I've definitely enjoyed spending time with everyone here. I definitely enjoyed basically sharing my knowledge. I definitely enjoyed everyone sharing their knowledge with me, with information that, like I said, I didn't know. I didn't know who BMB, what his name? Richie Mack was. So I wasn't, trying to get any clout from this guy. I didn't make the video about, him to gain any clout. But I will say this, please watch the video, everyone. Please watch the video. Share the video with other people if you like it. You think they'll like it. Share it with other people. Like the video. Share my YouTube channel with other people, because if I have to make videos like that, they are going to not only be funny, hilarious, but they're going to be very, very entertaining. Will you switch up eating out in China versus cooking? No. I'm going to continue to cook. I'm not eating out, Remember, I'm not Chinese. So my immune system is not accustomed to some of the foods, water, or things that they consume. Your immune system may not be accustomed to it. So you got to be careful when you go to other countries, eating, street food. You go out there, next thing you know, what do you got? Mud butt, bubble guts, running back and forth, drinking Pepto Bismol. I'm trying to enjoy myself when I get out there, not have to sit there. No, who does that? So cooking at home, if it's the safest and best thing. Now, if I go out, the safest thing I may do is I may eat some noodles. Maybe eat some noodles, build up my immune system, build it up to a tolerance where I don't get sick to, eating things outside. That's the smartest thing I could think of. Eat small things, let your immune system get accustomed to, some of the local foods before you just sit there and say, yeah, let me get something because off of this menu and you don't really know what it is. Because I don't know, but I do know what happened in New York back in the early or late 80s. New York had a mayor called David Dinkins. And David Dinkins, he had a raid on Chinatown back in the days. And basically in Chinatown, the police and the investigators found kittens, puppies, all types of exotic animals in the refrigerators and freezers of a lot of Asian restaurants. So, seeing this as a young kid, I told myself, I'm not eating no Chinese food no more. I'd be damned if I go and get General Meow's chicken. You heard me, General Meow's chicken. No, I'm not ordering nothing from their menus except maybe some noodles, man, and some stir-fried rice with vegetables. And I got to be cautious with that because maybe they stirred around a cat or a dog up in the wok, that they made my rice in. I know it may sound funny to a lot of people, but it ain't funny, when there's videos on YouTube of Asian people skinning and cutting and cleaning up animals. There's documentaries on National Geographic of, some countries. I don't want to say all just Asians, but mainly it was Asian countries, skinning the cat, slicing the cat in two, it's a sight to see. You hear me? So, nah, I'm good. No, I'm good. Give me an egg roll and a few egg rolls. No, not even an egg roll. No, man, they found little mice in some egg rolls. So give me a fortune cookie and some noodles, and I'm good to go. I'm good. I'm definitely good to go. But this was definitely a fun, live. I really appreciated my audience, the good interaction, and please, again, hey, just hit the like button, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate, y'all subscribing. I appreciate y'all sharing my content with other people. I appreciate you all asking other people to, subscribe to my channel. That means the most to me. I don't need, a super chat. I don't need, a cash app. I'm not asking for these things. You hear me? I went to school for banking, law, and financing. I know how to create money. So I don't need those things. Just you being supportive of the channel, sharing my content. That's all I ask for. But I need to go get me something to eat. Man, my stomach is growling. I'm hungry, and I do need to get some work done. So I definitely want to say thank you, everybody, again for this content, for your time, sharing your time with me, and the positive interaction. All right. Is anyone before I leave have any comments? Anything they want to tell me? Anything they want to ask me? Anything that they would like for me to answer for them? Please do it right now before I sign off. You know, I'm giving everyone the option to ask me any questions. Okay, Rico. Rico, well, you saw in the chat, you saw my what's the name, my Instagram. So you can basically hit me up on Instagram. I'll give it to you again if you didn't get it. Are your top recommendations? Okay. My top recommendations, countries. What are you looking for when you go to the country? That's the most important thing, Danny. What are you looking for? Okay, Rico, definitely. You know, I sent you my what's her name. That's my IG. That's my IG right there. Everything is content. Being around models will be fun to see. Well, Herman, the first thing is this. I put something on Facebook Marketplace in a place called For Fortaleza, Brazil, to try to get some models. I've actually tried to hire from America some photographers, so at least I can say, okay, I've already solidified a photographer. So when I get there, I don't have to start looking for a photographer, because I don't want to have to go looking for a photographer when I get to Brazil. I want to have one or two that basically already know that I'm coming, have a date, and basically I can just go there, pay this person for their services, pay them to rent, their location, and that's it. That's what I want to do. Oh, for the chicas. Okay. Danny, Brazil. Even though I've never been there before, I hear nothing but good things about Brazil. Peru. I definitely recommend you going to Peru. And also check out Guyana. Guyana has some very exotic looking women, Danny. I'm talking about exotic. And, it's a developing country. So, from the beautiful women that I've seen in America from Guyana, it's not it's not a place where I'm hearing it's like a lot of YouTubers talking about. So I would definitely consider, which I'm considering, going to Brazil, Peru, definitely this year, right after the 4th of July. And perhaps maybe Guyana, but I know Guyana is dangerous, just like Trinidad is dangerous. Beautiful women, but very dangerous. But yeah, Peru, Brazil, those are on my to-do list. And because I haven't, been there, I have nothing negative to say about the place other than the positive research that I've seen. So I know there's beautiful women all over the world. So let's not go to countries just for the chicas. Let's go there for the experience and other things, because there are beautiful women there. There are beautiful women in Cuba. Very beautiful women in Cuba. You hear me? Very beautiful women. But yo, if you go to Cuba, man, you better prepare. You better prepare yourself, because you'll be over there like, yo, I can't find this. Yo, they can't find that. And guess what? In Cuba, they don't have American hotels over there. They got one, and you have to find it, because it's not being advertised on apps like Agoda. You go over to Cuba, you got to take money, and you got to buy what's called a prepaid Cuban debit card. That's how you're able to stay in some of the hotels in Cuba, because they don't take money. They don't take US dollars. So you have to exchange your money for Cuban money. Telling you, yo, it's things you live and learn and see. Poverty is too much in Cuba. Can't do it. Okay, poverty is too much in Cuba. Well, Danny, I've been to Europe, and if you're a black man like me, yo, you're gonna be loved in places like Poland, like Germany, like Sweden. You're gonna be stared at. Hmm. You are definitely gonna be stared at. But Polish women love black dudes. German women love black dudes. Ukrainian women love black dudes. Russian women may love us, but you know, they think they're hot shit, and you know, I feel like they're cold doo doo. But it's just my opinion. Let me see. But that's my recommendations. If you're looking for chicas in South America, Peru. I have not heard anything negative about Peru. El Salvadorian women are very beautiful. Uh, haven't considered going there yet. I'm still questioning if it's a safe place, but everyone keeps saying it's a safe place who've been there. But Peru and Brazil, those are my two next destinations. So until I have a bad experience, I can't say anything about it. But I definitely don't recommend Dominican Republic. If you're going there, it's because you got some friends. You're gonna go see some people. Other than that, I don't recommend it. Beeston Travels here from the BMT interview. Gonna check out your videos to get the unfiltered. Well, thank you, Beast. I truly appreciate that. Go check out the video. Go share it with other people if you like it. You know, share it with others, and I think you'll like it. But if you check out that video and also check out the video I posted before that, those two videos complement each other, and it has basically some clips about Philly Dom. Let me see if I can find the video so I can show you real fast. Let's see. Boop. You should try Cali, Colombia. I've been to Colombia. I've been to Santa Marta. So this was a video that I recommend. It's called Passport Bros Should Be Careful What. Let's see. Of different content creators sharing. Be careful what you wish for. So other YouTubers, the Pattaya experience, or their experience. So look for this. Living in Pattaya, look for this video right there. A clear idea as to why more passport bros or expats should ask this one important question. Do you really think you can find true and sincere love in Pattaya? Check out this video because that video basically it's complementing the Richie Mack video that I posted. So basically, when I'm asking people in this video, do you think you can really find love in Pattaya? And when you watch the other video, you know, you'll see, okay, there are men talking about you're paying for a relationship. You got other YouTubers telling, you know, you this, just they're doing it discreetly. But Cali, Colombia, Cartagena, I think I've been to Cartagena. I went to Santa Marta. I went to Cucuta. I went to Barranquilla. And yeah, I think I went to Cartagena as well. So I've been to Colombia. Very beautiful women there. But again, they've now gotten such a bad reputation about scopamining dudes out till, man, you couldn't even offer me a you couldn't offer me a can of Coke. Okay. Well, Rico, maybe El Salvador is something that, you know, I can go check out. And maybe you could send me on Instagram some photos of the chicas down there, because I do speak Spanish. So it won't be a problem for me to go there and communicate with the locals and have a good experience because I can speak and understand Spanish. But maybe their Spanish could be like Mexican Spanish and the dialect could be slightly different. But I definitely look forward to, you know, seeing some your photos and seeing how your experience was to maybe put it on the bucket list. But wow, it's 2 hours I've been on here. I got to get off. I need to eat some food and start my day. You hear me? But I've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed y'all company, and I got to get out of here, right? So I hope I've answered all your questions. If anybody else has any other questions, just basically hit me up. You have my Instagram. It's Building Wealth with Ease, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions for you. Again, no super chats, no cash apps. I'm good. You hear me? Just the love, the respect, and the devotion to this channel is all I'm looking for. Love, peace, and hair grease, everybody, and I'm out.